Hello and welcome to the Flightship for starting. Oh, we ran the gambit on that one. I don't think any of those words worked right. Did any of those were any of those words correct, Sammy? We almost ran the gambit.
I don't know what a gambit is, so
I don't know. It's like a scheme, I think.
yeah, that makes sense.
Jumped the gun is probably what I was going. Well, not jump the gun. It was no the opposite. You know what? I don't think any combination of the words will ever fit correctly.
You barely made it.
Barely made it where?
You barely pressed the button in time. The record button. I'm just fueling the fire, aren't I?
Yes. You barely bopped the button. We're doing terribly. So yeah. Anywho, I do wish. I'm hoping to. I probably should be mindful of this when I'm doing.
Stage 1 containment imminent.
Yeah. My stuff, I guess, with Kirby. Oh wait, I should stay inside. Get that.
Okay, 140 is when it starts.
There's a roll
And
over
130 is when it finishes.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, they have contained both. Chicken has contained.
Oh my gosh! Kill it!
Both sides.
Kill! No! How does he keep? Oh, I think I finally got him. I think someone finally got him. I don't know. Yeah, Dream Course is the. Cause like, one of the things I like. All right, so I told you about how I went to get, how I tried playing some NES games.
Yeah.
A while back, and I got sucked into Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
Dang it, I'm locked out. But I tried a bunch of other games, and I tried a bunch of other games.
Get on the portal, Tommy. I'm gonna fix this up and then I'm gonna leave.
Like, I've tried pretty much I've played a few levels of all the Marios, but I couldn't really get myself to go farther than that. Because I kind of felt like just a thing I was doing. And the other thing is, and I got a bit farther on Zelda, but I never got past too far. Like, I did the first dungeon and I stopped. But Dr. Mario sucked me in just because it was such a pick up and play, just do it. And I guess, but like, see, I know that those old Mario games are pretty, like, classic games, but actually, and I even played through a large part of Super Mario World in a different, earlier, you know, I played through Mario Advance, but, whatever, advanced version, but I couldn't, like, bring myself to, like, get into it then, because I was just, like, looking at them. And part of what I really liked when I was playing Kirby's Dream Land is, although I got very frustrated at extra mode and at one life thing, although that was it got very frustrating at points, one of the parts I loved is that I never would have seen this other side of Kirby's Dream Land, and I never would have, I'm not sure without the channel I ever would have played extra game. I'm not sure I ever would have gotten into that. I never would have, and I really like the way it did extra game, and I think it's really cool. And again, I went into that game I was just playing it because it was the first one I had to, and it was, and our consensus of the game was literally it exists. And then through the course of the thing, through extra mode, I was like, holy smokes, this is actually really fun. And yeah, it's a little bit bull sometimes, but it's like seeing what they did and what all the bosses did was actually really cool, especially that first time. And so yeah, I feel like I'm not certain if something similar will. I'm not certain if I'll get. See, I'm not certain it. Like, see, yeah, burnout is a possibility, and it's a very real one, and I probably should be more worried about it than I am because, you know. But also, I can't excuse the fact that like that this pretense.
Okay, everyone is converging on our side. Use that as an excuse to get into theirs.
Well, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
do
in
that.
Thing.
Keep it occupied.
I'm
gonna try to fight against the people. I'm gonna try to keep these guys up here distracted.
I'll let Alan distract these people. Dang it, they hit me right where it was. Okay.
Stage 1 containment is imminent.
They took it. They took it. We're failing.
Still a bloodbath going on.
Yeah, they took ours. They took it. No.
Get in.
They're nowhere close.
Are you kidding me? The person who was the only person nearby would have been our teammate. Jumped off a cliff.
Dang it.
On the way to...
Oh my gosh.
To our
So I'm guessing this is going poorly.
And because of that, they didn't ink it in time. They didn't get in time because they somehow jumped off a cliff before then.
Okay.
We had a chance if she...
And now we don't.
If they'd gotten in. Bunker's closing around and there's chickens but not eggs, so...
Yeah, this is good.
They have every safe spot, so,
This was a fun game. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, like, as much as, like, the possibility of burnout is there, and I am worried about it, the drive to actually do something I wouldn't do not for the channel also somewhat excites me, especially after...
So you have a, like, good commitment. You're still, like, feeling it.
Oh, yeah.
I guess the thing to say would be really, like, checking back in later after you've done a bit.
Actually, I think it would be very
still
telling.
Going strong.
Yeah. I think it's also, I think we should space out the sessions. Like, we obviously should space them out of it. We shouldn't do them back-to-back too much. Like, the fact that we're, yeah. And it's easy to do that, obviously, when we got all these Splatfests.
Yeah.
But I think the real telling thing will be how I feel after One Life, One Health.
Yeah.
Dreamland Extra. That's going to be really what we're telling. I'm going to try, and I really do want to do that one, just... but I think that'll... How I feel after that will probably... Because that will be the first completed game, and I think that will give me a good sense of both the pros and the cons of my format.
Okay.
And, yeah. And I have been looking in... I watched, apparently there actually is a safe spot for Krakow Jr.
Huh.
Apparently, even though the left corner is normally unsafe, he actually went directly in the left and he ducked, which apparently got him through. So, hey, that's one boss. I saw Poppy Bros Jr. I think I got a better handle on that. I think... It seems just doable enough.
Alright, if you say so.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a bad idea, but I'm gonna go ahead with it. Plus, yeah, it's just. Plus, I do want to see what extra mode looks like with the collar.
Alright.
But that's like not that big of a deal, but. But yeah, like, I mean, okay, I've Alright, don't tell anyone, but I do have Dream Collection. I literally owned Kirby's Dream... I've owned Kirby's Dream Collection for quite a while. Meaning I've literally had access to that game for a really long time, and I never once... If it weren't for the channel, I would never have really seen it for anything more than... Yeah, so... I know I'm repeating myself, but... I don't know. So Hope is still alive.
Yeah.
As for the rest of these Splatfests... Okay. It's so annoying because I do feel... It's so annoying because, like, every so often we will get a good conversation going, right?
Yeah.
Like, this conversation about the burnout, like, it's somewhat personal for me, but I don't really mind too much. And whenever we have natural conversation, it actually does come easy. But, so, like, of course, when we're having the conversation of burnout, that's when a conversation is happening, so it's really, it's somewhat easy to misconstrue generalities, but you get what I mean, probably. But I will say, I wasn't certain about doing chicken and egg. Like, I wasn't certain. I was like, are we really gonna do this? But then I did.
I guess that was me who suggested it.
You weren't suggesting. I was still thinking of doing it. And I still had, like, I thought... Like, I had thought of the series.
When I thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, but I do have to say, like, it wasn't just you. I definitely had, like, inclinations of having to do it. But I was already somewhat looking at it as an obligation.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
I think we should stop before...
things get out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know what the last two are gonna be. I think it would be fun to play these on our own time.
Yeah, and also like if it happens to be Squid versus Octo, I feel like that one was big enough that that one seems big enough that I might warrant coming back.
Yeah.
But
that's really it.
Yeah, and gosh dang it. We're never gonna win. But I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with me, but there's still that reluctance to give up on something, even if it's an unhealthy, terrible something that's oh great, and the Clout 666 anyway. Yeah, real subtle there, game.
I think we're going to lose.
Wow, really?
Well, I've been 100 times battles are very important on this. And I've been seeing them go pretty even.
Yeah. See, Splatoon was never really one of my favorites. Yeah. I've always played the game, but it was always more...
I kind of brought you into this.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. I don't want you to feel too bad about that. Because, you know... But a little bit. But
I was actually thinking...
Oh, we got assassin time. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. So what I was actually thinking was, if the next console does come out and Splatoon 3 is a thing...
Oh yeah, I was gonna...
thinking maybe the first Splatfest of that game would be just the refresher we need, to just stop with Splatoon for now, but come back after Splatoon 3 would naturally be a pretty big jump. We'd have more to talk about, the game itself.
Maybe. I don't know.
And just having the first one just as a novelty, kind of.
Yeah. I don't know,
I wouldn't pursue any more of Splatoon 3, but I was thinking that one could be a fun refresher.
Possibly. I don't know, because my whole view of it... Because I have to remember, Final Fest was happening, and we all thought, hey, it would be cool to come back and have a final... Because remember, this starts with Final Fest Final Day. And that happened, and I was like, well, we did the final Splatfest, and I'm glad we did it. It's quite a long series, not really my kind of thing, but we did it, and I'm glad that we did this final one. And then they made, like, another one. It's like, well, I guess if that's the real final one, I'm putting it. But, like, see, part of my mindset when... Because although you definitely influenced it, it was ultimately my decision to try and do the rest, to continue it, so after the Game Plus. And my mindset was, you know what, I'll finish off these 3. Because, again, I've been thinking this... Because when I first started, because when we got to chicken and egg and it said also 2 more, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I was very much up in the air about doing it, but then
you saw how I texted about chicken versus egg. It's like, hey Philip, guess what?
Yeah, and I was like, and I kind of wanted to, but like. It was so much different when, like this one, there wasn't even a pretense that this would be the last one.
Right.
This one, it was literally like, also expect more.
Plus, like, final... Okay. Yeah, So, I initially found it fun that they were doing these rematches to keep the game alive, but now it's just becoming a chore.
We're only on the second one.
It's like...
But it was way more fun when it was just, oh, Ketchup vs. Mayo.
In Final Fest, when the game was still going strong, I was really, really motivated on that one. I had been, like, training for, like, a month.
Alright.
And it's like, I was so excited for that. And when Ketchup vs. Mayo got rematched, it's like, oh, wow, they're doing this now?
And it was cool. It was the first one, and it was the only other one I'd participated in. Like, I'd participated in the first Ketchup vs. Mayo, so, like, it was like, oh, yeah, we get to do this. And then egg versus chicken, and, like, I knew what side I was going to be on. It was egg, always egg, but with this one... the
mindset's very different.
Yeah, but what I said the first time we did this... we decided this. This is somewhat farther back when they first announced this. I texted you about it because I need to set this up, obviously.
Yeah.
So you texted. Do you want me to read this aloud on camera, or is this?
If it doesn't. If it doesn't have anything you don't think we'd want to say.
No, it looks pretty clean.
All right. I mean. Clean,
right,
but like any personal is what I was more saying.
No, it just goes. Shoot, hey Naomi, play this match. Naomi's playing this time. They don't say anything. So Sammy goes. Hey Philip, new text. I'm here to tell you, new text, that on August 21st through 23rd, new text, they're doing, new text, another Splatfest, new text, chicken versus egg rematch, new text, which the answer is obviously egg, new text, meeting, new text, we're recording more Splatoon 2. And then I talked to you about the thumbnails a little bit longer. Yeah. And then finally, I go, this had been done. Also, I've decided that the new Splatfest will be treated as part of the Splatfest New Game Plus series. The plan of release, stays the same. After Splatfest New Game Plus is released, we will switch to 3 episodes a week with Kirby in the Wednesday slot. Splatfest New Game Plus is just going to take a bit longer to close out. The Splatfest series will likely not continue into Splatoon 3, because my thought back then was, alright, we'll do these 3 and then I'm finally free. That was how I was thinking. It's like, alright, we'll do these 3 and then finally, like, I'll have done the Splatfest New Game Plus and I can never touch Splatoon again.
It's like I would personally argue that we should do the opposite. Just break and tell Splatoon 3. And then, like, we'd actually have something that we'd be, or at least I assume we'd be more motivated and just more interested.
Yeah.
And again, I only think we should really do 1 or so Splatfest and Splatoon 3. Splatoon, I feel like, has become a thing now for a channel. It's like...
But that's the other thing, I didn't want it. I never wanted it to become a thing. I did Splatfest New Game Fun. I played Splatfest Final Fest because it seemed like a fun side... Like, it seemed like a fun one event to do it. And then I did Splatfest ketchup or mayo because, hey, it seemed like an interesting continuation.
Communication error has occurred.
Yeah, I started Splatfest New Game Plus because, well, I already said why it was interesting as the first one, and it was the whole thing, and we'd done Final Fest, and now it wasn't really Final Fest, so I was like, well, I'll do this one too, and it made sense.
I'll start up a room.
And stuff. But then, and then...
Then the Splatfests are coming, they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop.
Oh, yeah.
Enough.
And, yeah, but, and it began, and the reason I did that is because after that happens, I don't want this to become the Splatoon channel. Granted, Luigi's Mansion 3 is still doing better than Splatoon currently in logistics. By nothing. I mean, neither of them are very good. But
I want us to still keep a healthy variety in terms of gaming. But I still think it would be fun to visit the first Splatfest of whatever Splatoon 3 cooks up. That would be... We're thinking this is far off into the future. Several years, right?
I know.
By that point, we won't have done really much Splatfest on this channel.
And you're probably right
for this.
But I did want to say the original intent was because if I finished off the Splatoon 2 stuff, then it would actually be done. Like then it would be a concrete closing off point, and that's kind of where the original plan was. It would finally be a kind of closing off point. Because I've always liked Splatoon, and I always thought they're interesting, and my sisters play it somewhat. But I never... And I'm interested in doing Octo Expansion, because I actually do want to play that.
But like, that's something you want to do. Yeah.
And I never meant...
It's just this one... We're really looking forward to this.
Yeah. It's just... Eventually...
Philip, can you join my lobby?
Well, no, I'm outside walking around because we're at the end of the episode, but I wanted to continue. I didn't want to break this conversation up. But it just got to this point where it's... I can't believe I'm burning out, like, at this early in my career. I haven't even done anything. No one watches these anyway. This is ridiculous.
I just propose that we make the end of New Game Plus the end of Chicken versus Egg. We do this because we already have it almost done. Yeah, we only have about 2 hours left.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours.
So,
but I don't know, and maybe
we finish it off and we don't touch Splatoon 2 ever again. Sound good?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't want to. Yeah, maybe. I'll think about it.
Unless we get some really big motivational spark to come back to it.
Yeah, it's probably best that we leave this one today. But yeah, I'm not certain whether or not I'm coming back for 3. But I'm not certain if I have the will to do it. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how I feel when 3 happens, I guess. But it's just another door to be opened. And these are like really long series. Like they're maybe one-off events for me, but these things that last months and months and months. Like I'm really glad there's at least a side series going on with Luigi's Mansion 3 and Unraveled 2 and stuff. But and I like doing big event stuff. Like I like doing the Mario Kart 8 thing. That's just a giant event. But this kind of thing, it's just. This was too much, because it's different for like with at least like, because I was never expecting to do all this. With Kirby, when I decided to do a great Kirby Let's Play, I mean the name sells it alone. yeah, I was planning on doing a big thing for it. But Splatoon was just like a kind of thing like, well, this is a good reason to get into it. And I never, like, if it wasn't for Final Fest, I never would have done anything with the franchise. I mean, I generally, like, I don't dislike Splatoon, but I'm really not that into it. But then we got...
Speaking as a pretty hardcore fan of this game, I do not like the Splatfest.
Like in general? Or
no, like as a pretty big fan of Splatoon 2, it's probably my second most played Switch game, if it hasn't surpassed Breath of the Wild by now. But still, this Splatfest has been making me think that these Splatfest rematches are overstaying their welcome.
Just a little bit. I don't know. Although if the theme is, if I feel like there's two options for it coming back. Either A, we get Splatoon versus Octopus just because it's Splatoon versus Octopus so big. But if there's like a debate theme that I just feel really personally about which answer it is, I'm gonna call you up, see if we see the same, and then I might do that. But we might do another time cut, or maybe if we do this, we shouldn't or maybe we could just do like an hour or two of the next one.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't set up all day marathons.
Yeah, I already tried to shorten this one.
But like 12 to 12 is still, and I was when I first heard shorten the content, we can't do that. We already don't make. Anyway, we'll continue this. All right, I've elongated this episode enough, so we'll see you next time on the Flightship. When it comes to entertainment, we know you have a choice, and we thank you for flying with the Flightship. We hope you continue to the next episode of our flight, and consider joining our frequent flyers program by hitting the subscribe button.